Hey everybody. We're up for another episode of What's on the Healing Bench. Today we are working on my monitor wedge. So it's from Seismic Audio, but I've done some mods to it. So we'll explain some of this gobbledygook too. and how and what all that junk is. So hang on, let's see how it happens. So today I'm working on my wedge, my monitor. So when I play on stage, sometimes we have a wedge in front of us, a monitor that's pointed up at us so we can hear the music, because when you're playing on stage, typically the speakers are in front of you, the ones that go to the audience, or we call those front of house. You actually don't hear correctly what is going on stage, because you're hearing the backside of the speakers. It's all muffled and strange, and then you're hearing reflections from the room or whatever. And so it's not ideal. So what you typically do is, you have speakers on stage that point right to the musicians, so we can hear ourselves and hear the other guys in the band. And on some systems you can pick and choose, I want to hear more of my guitar, or I need to hear more vocals so that I can sing in pitch. When you can't hear yourself, it's really difficult to perform and play in pitch, especially if you're singing. You're singing harmonies, or you're singing lead vocals, or if you are playing like I do. I play a lot of slide guitar, and so you have to hear the guitar to know if you're in tune. When you're just fretting the guitar, you can push on the fret and it'll be pretty much in tune. But when you're playing slide, it moves, and so you have to be able to hear it real well to play it in the right note. So anyway, I'm working on my wedge. I'm going to do some weird things with it. It's a really versatile speaker, and I'll show you some video of it here in a little bit. But I did a massive amount of work on it to make it do exactly what I wanted. And it's changed over the years. I've had it 2 or 3 years now. But it's been really good. So I've done a lot of work, and this thing looks like garbage because it's been on the road being worked, and then I modified it, done all kinds of stuff. So I'll show you some of the mods. This started out life as a 12-inch, had a 12-inch woofer and a titanium horn driver from Seismic Audio. Seismic Audio builds cheap audio equipment, but for the money, I've been really happy with it. Really happy with it. So let me show you some of the mods. First thing is it's been through a lot of different iterations. This jack power outlet, is tied in so that when I had the unit plugged in, I'd have power here so I could power a pedal board or something. It also has USB ports. I don't know if you can see them, but it has USB ports so I can plug a phone in or whatever. These switches are not used anymore. I had those. I was doing some experiments with some other speakers that maybe I'll show you one day, but those are for turning on and off, basically turning on and off the speakers in here so that I could run external speakers. Those external speakers used to run out of here, so I routed this out and put those in. So these would go out to external speakers. They're not hooked up right now. I didn't need them. That experiment didn't work real great. These two were actually my guitar inputs. So I'd have this, when I first bought this would sit in front of me on stage, kind of by where my microphone stand was. And instead of plugging my guitar into an amp, I would plug them both. I'd plug it into here, and I had an acoustic guitar side and an electric guitar side, so they would go in here, and then they would be fed through this speaker system to the back, and I'll show you why. Now the really weird part about this whole machine is this. So if you look at this, I have Frankensteined this a lot. So none of this is factory. Let's start with this. This is a Seismic Audio Plate Amplifier. It's about, I don't know, 300 watts. It's set up in a biamp system, so it's got one dedicated circuit for high end, one dedicated circuit for low end. And the way I've set it up is I run the low end to the woofer and the high end to the tweeter, or the horn. So this is in here because I wanted a powered speaker, so I don't have to run a separate amplifier. So that's my amplifier. This is my mixer board. So this is a SoundCraft UI16. There's no faders or anything on it. I run this from my iPad or my phone or whatever. So that's why I built this thing the way it is so I can run the speaker system with a mixer and an amplifier. It's all one deal. I can take this, I can plug in one power cord, and then I have one cord. You know, I got to run a cord from like the mixer output to the amplifier or whatever. Now I have a whole sound system in this one wedge. So at times I'd run the whole band from here. As I'd use it for a wedge, I'd run the whole band. In fact, you could see all the labels. I don't know if you can tell. It's kind of bright, but it was all labeled for everybody's mics and everybody's guitars and all that kind of stuff. So I'd run it from there. All the cables would come up to the front, and then we'd play. Now I want to mount this in the back, but still we need to be able to run all the cables to this mixer, and then we'll split it out from there. Anyway, that's kind of the deal. That SoundCraft is an amazing piece of gear. I really love it. It's got some downsides. It's kind of noisy. You plug in the mixer straight into the amplifier with nothing plugged in, no volumes up, and it hums. It makes some humming. And you'd think it was because it was mounted so close together. Nope, did that when it was brand new. When this unit, when that unit was on the floor, totally away from any other speakers. You plug a speaker in, it's got some hum. It just can't, you can't get away from it on this unit. But it's an awesome piece of gear. I run it with my iPad. I love it. It's pretty rad. What I'm going to do is I'm going to take this wedge and I'm going to use it as basically as the subwoofer, and then I'll put a pole in it so that I can mount a high-end speaker on top that runs mostly just high-end stuff. So I've got to do some work to it, but first of all, it hasn't been working great. I haven't used it in a while. That's one of the reasons I stopped using it, is because I used it at a show, just a solo show, my Unprofessional Friday one-man band thing. Well, it was crackling and popping and making all kinds of weird noises, and I was not happy with it. But I hadn't chased it down all the way. I thought I did, and so I ordered a speaker. So I've been waiting on that. I got the speaker in, and so I pulled the wedge out today, and I started troubleshooting it. First thing I need to do is verify that it's still, verify what it's doing. That way I know if I fixed it or not. So I turned it on. I started playing music through it. No problems. It was working fine. Like, the speaker wasn't crackling, nothing.
3 o'clock in the morning, can't find my bed. 3 o'clock in the morning, got to rest my head.
And I thought, that's pretty strange. So I went over and I turned the volume up on it, and all of a sudden the sound went away. Like, no sound at all. And then I moved the volume a little bit and it came back, but it was real weird. So I had a bad volume pot.
Got to find a place to rest my head.
is the actual, you know, the switch inside that as you turn the volume, it turns up. It's called a pot. So I got some, I pulled the amplifier apart, I sprayed it in there with contact cleaner into the pot. And then basically what you do is you just spray contact cleaner in there, and then you twist the pot back and forth, and that cleans, it'll clean any corrosion and things off there where it contacts, so then it works. And sure enough, boom, started working great. So then I got to make it work for the pole mount. Now this wedge is designed to go on top of a pole. So if you have a subwoofer with a pole mount in the top of the subwoofer, or you have just a tripod pole mount, a speaker stand, you can set that up, and then you take this, boom, pop it on top, so the speaker pole goes in the bottom. But actually I want to use it upside down, so I bought some rubber feet. I put some rubber feet on what would be the top, so I can flip it upside down. Now the pole mount sticks out the top, and then I got the pole, and I can put the other speaker on top of it. I need to build some cables I want to build some cables that are specific for this, because I don't want 20-foot cables for a 4-foot run, but they're not, I don't have exactly what I need. So I'm going to take some of the cables I have at ends, and I'll make some cables, and I'll show you some of that. So I have specific cables for this rig, for this setup. So yeah, this monitor is really versatile. It can lay down, so it's the speaker's angled up at you. So if you're using it as a monitor wedge, it's in front of you, kind of where like a microphone stand or something would be. So it's in front of you, pointed up at you, so you hear it in your face. You can stand it up to where it shoots the sound forward. Now the wedge is the other way, so it's standing with the woofer, what we'd consider the woofer, is on the bottom, and then the horn is on top, so that now it's projecting sound straight. The problem with that is the sound is low, if that makes sense. So it's down around your ankles, and the high end is going to go right past you. So that's one problem with doing it that way. If you're using it out front of house, you'd need to get it up on a speaker pole, which is what that whole deal is designed for. But now I'm going to use it upside down in the wrong way, but I can do that.
I can see him by the porch light.
Sounds pretty good.
Gonna go
So I want to set it up.
with my Red Ryder and my bike.
So I guess that about wraps it up. Yeah, it worked out really good. We cleaned that pot, put some rubber feet on it, tested it upside down. It put out plenty of bass. I think it's going to work out great. It's just one more little piece to the puzzle. I should point out that that picture is the picture earlier from our prank. It ended up back at my house in the workshop. I didn't find it until today. That's been there about a week and a half maybe. So well done, Michelle. You got me. She also delivered yogurt into my fridge, which I hate yogurt. I hate the smell, the taste, the texture. But it ended up in a whole bunch of it in my fridge. So yeah, she got me back. I'm pretty proud of her for that. Thanks for playing along. Remember to check out Unprofessional Friday on Facebook and Instagram. That's where I'm going to start posting these links and stuff. But hang out here on my YouTube channel. Make sure you like and subscribe, because that helps me know what you guys like. You know, hit the like button, make comments. That really helps me to make content that you want to see. So anyway, make sure you share it with your friends. And until next time, take care, and we'll see what's on the bench next go around. Bye. Hey, punk meat. So, it's the first day I've really been out in the shop for a while. I've been busy and gone and stuff. So, I come into the workshop today and I start messing around, and then look what I found. Sarah. I found another picture of Sarah. Or, not another. This is the first one I found. But she was hiding behind some stuff, and I'm like, I don't remember bringing that home. Why do I? Oh, I know why I have it. Because Michelle is getting back at me. Well done. That's pretty awesome. Yeah, I didn't see it till just now. Thanks, Michelle. Love you. Bye.